I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. Don't second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. Now I already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. Hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed.
Molested, what?
Sometimes man, molested. Miley's on the mic here rapping or trying to.
I can't rap.
Tell me a little bit more about these guys in the lobby of Call of Duty. So, like, what kind of music are we talking about?
We got some Lil Wayne going, but I end up with, like, rappers that are trying to make it. So they think that rapping to the pregame lobby is going to advance them. So he's like, yeah, look me up. I'm from Baltimore. You like this song? And I'm like, what song? And then he starts rapping, and I'm like, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a YouTube search. Search him up on YouTube. He's got 10 followers. He's a big-time rapper, dude.
Hey, we all start somewhere, Miles.
No.
Okay.
No. This guy's like, I got bands.
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah, and then you search him up, and I'm just like, no, man, stop that.
I got bands of dollar bills. What?
Well, at least he's got bands of something. He probably got bands around his balls so he can't reproduce.
You guys had me. This came right across my mind, right? As soon as you started talking about Eminem and all that shit. You seen this dude on TikTok?
Nobody said Eminem.
No, early on he did. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Who's that?
About rapping. So this fake Eminem, like about just everyday life stuff.
Oh yeah,
mower.
I've seen him. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna play this mower one for you for people. That's fucking shit. I just started laughing. Kind of even sounds like him a little bit.
Mowing the lawn with my overalls on. I've been mowing so long, the motor just yawned. Gotta start mowing the lawn before it grows overly long. It's even growing over the pond. I wish I had a sorcerer's wand. If I had a sorcerer's wand, I'd have most of it gone. Sweat huddled up in both my palms. Palms are sweaty, knees are weak, but my shoulders are strong. And every push I'm toning my arms. I need a weed whacker. I should start borrowing John's. John Deere. Sharp shears. My beard is not weird.
That dude is hilarious.
Wow.
He does one with like a parking one. It's pretty damn good. When he comes out, he's getting like a ticket.
Can I state that I came across that and I did not turn my volume up and I was like, fuck this, and kept scrolling. And now I am ashamed.
That you missed it the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good shit.
It's so good, man.
But I do want to put out there right away, though, that rest in peace to one of the best running backs of all time. Jim Brown passed away at the age of 87 yesterday, and is peacefully in his sleep in California, his home.
Yeah, definitely.
87.
87. One of the best. So I was thinking about this on the way over, boys. You know, we talk about all the time, like generational players, right? Like, and sometimes shit gets like a little loose termed. You know, like, oh, this dude could play there, this at any time, blah, blah, blah. And it just wherever. Usually the conversation is like when we talk basketball, LeBron can go to any era and play, right?
No.
Will Chamberlain, yes, he could. Will Chamberlain, I believe, could in his prime if you knew, like, freak, because he was such an athletic being when he first came in, right? Jim Brown to me is one of those players that back then it looked like it was a mammoth of a man amongst boys running, right? He could still do that. He was AP before AP. You know, he was Eric Dickerson before Eric Dickerson, Earl Campbell before Earl Campbell. Not to mention one hell of an activist, too, but not too shabby of an actor. I remember watching him in Mars Attacks. If you guys ever watched that.
Oh, man.
I don't know
Forgot
if you
about
had,
that.
but
It
was kind of like a sploof. So, you know, like 96, July 3rd, 96, Independence Day came out. Awesome movie, right? Anyone that's seen? Hopefully you've watched that at least.
Seen that.
That's an all-time great. You better have.
Yes.
That same year, December, Mars Attacks comes out. So it's kind of like a sploof. It was like really cheesy, but it did have Jim Brown in it too. Big old. I think he was like. Yeah, he was a big body. Like he was like, I just remember him getting dressed up in like some Egyptian shit in Vegas or something like that, right? Yep. Yep. The aliens.
Yeah, dude. God, that was a long time ago.
You don't know that movie?
We're old as
That
fuck.
is the best movie ever. It scared the shit out of me though when the
No, it's not the best movie ever.
Yes,
I was
it
not
is.
bringing it up. Independence Day
What?
was.
No, dude, my parents didn't let me watch Armageddon.
What?
Yeah. So my mother apparently was religious for 1 year of her life, and she's like, "No, you can't watch Armageddon." I was going to a church to watch Armageddon,
But you.
and she's like, "No, you can't watch it." So then,
That's
like,
in the. It's
like-
in the Bible.
That's weird.
no, I know. So like 10 years later,
That's literally where it comes
I
from.
watch
See,
it.
my parents were like strict like that, and all church going, and they were like, "You can't watch Harry Potter," which kind of makes sense.
It makes more sense, yeah.
Definitely more sense than Armageddon.
Witches and shit, yeah.
Literally, it's phrase. A Bible phrase is brought up in the movie of Armageddon.
Yeah.
The Bible describes this day as Armageddon.
Yeah. Me and my mom are crazy, so it makes sense. Okay.
If you don't think about it.
So yeah, we were just like, my mom's like, "No, you can't go watch that." And then I waited 10 years. I was like, "Oh, I'm breaking the law watching this movie." And I'm like, "What the fuck? She didn't let me watch this movie?"
Yeah.
Yeah, good. R.I.P. to a legend, though, for sure. I
Yeah.
agree. I think he could
Yeah.
play today, too.
Akak.
Yeah. I
Jim
just
Brown?
watch him
Oh,
play.
yeah,
I
he
think
could play.
I think he'd play.
Any
he could play
good
in any
running
era.
back could play right now, though.
I don't think
What?
so. I don't.
What?
No.
Why? It's a passing league now. Now they're gonna run more than they ever have.
Yeah, not okay. So I believe that you need to be a two-way running back now and able to play in this era. Besides a Jim Brown-esque. Jim Brown, Derrick Henry. That's today,
I'll
right?
give you
Derrick
that.
Henry
I'll
is
give you that.
that version, right? The offense would still have to be going around him. It would have to be built around him in today's type of anti-today's game, kind of like
Yeah.
what I just said, Derrick Henry's offense, right?
Yeah, but that guy was winning games 7-0.
Not true.
No, but I'm stating that's the low scoring league back then.
It wasn't that. It was, but it wasn't. Like, it depends on who the teams were you facing. There wasn't like so much talent out there. When they would face a bad team, the score would be ran up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I think you have to look at, right, is the competition at the time. And when you're able to run over people like he used to, easily, it's not like he was in the same level, as those guys back then. He was clearly head and shoulders above. That's
Yeah.
why I agree with what you're saying, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on.
Boom. Well, let's kick this bitch off, Jimmer. We got some shit to talk about tonight. And we do have a live studio audience. Our guy, Mr. Kevin Beauchart.
Boom from Bo's Power Washing.
And now
Also hooked us up a little bit of something right here. Some sweatshirts,
matching underwear too.
matching thongs, maybe.
Dude, did I send you that TikTok about the Budweiser deal? He's like, what beer should I
Yes,
get?
Oh,
And he's
yes.
like, I've been drinking it my whole life, it hasn't changed me. And then he takes it, he's like, okay. And he looks over, a guy bends down to tie his shoe, and he's wearing a thong.
And he puts it down.
And he puts it
Yep,
back, and
never
goes,
mind.
yep.
All right, since we're on that side note, when we thought that nobody could do this, and I sent you guys a video earlier, right, or a picture at least. I thought that was fake when I seen it going across Facebook a couple days ago, right? Like the true ad going across the Ford one. I didn't think anybody would cross that after what happened to Bud Light. I really didn't.
They have to set the new standard.
I couldn't believe it. Look this video up when you get a chance, Rio. Like they
Don't do it. He's bashing.
Yeah,
It's not bashing. I'm not even the one that brought it up. It wasn't me searching it. Joey's like, hey, did you see this? He's like, I didn't think anyone would do this after
What
Bud
is it?
Light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we'll-
Yeah. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, just take a look.
Look
Look up new
Take a gander.
What do the people need to look up, Jimmer?
Ford's new official
Ford Pride.
video.
Ford
Pride.
Yeah,
I guess
Ford Pride.
kind of like a Dylan Duvernay type of thing. Is that how you say his last
Well,
name?
the first thing I typed forward, and it says new.
There you go.
commercial.
Is there a muddy truck?
New trucks are gay too.
You know what?
Stop it.
You know what?
I'm just reading.
I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave my truck fucked up now,
Just reading the ads.
just to match it.
Oh yeah,
When are you gonna get that done anyway?
Ford.
Whenever the guy
When
calls
Ford
me,
guys are like, "Let's go mudding,"
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Have you found the actual one yet?
I think
hole,
so. I'm watching one.
Okay.
brown hole in it.
Miles, you haven't paid that dude yet, right? Why don't you go somewhere else?
Because he
This
already.
has been
No.
under control.
My insurance sent him the check. He has the parts. Dude, I promise you, I did not get to touch any of that money.
The rainbow truck?
Since I have
Yeah.
a loan on
Yep.
it, it goes straight to him. He's ordered. He has all the parts.
He is hasn't had time.
I'm just saying,
He's been-
don't you think it's weird that they kind of dabbled with that already
That
when
is
we were
weird.
watching Bud Light
He's been
like,
painting ambulances and
fall
shit,
apart in front of us?
Right.
which
But
is
what was
that's
it?
the
bullshit.
thing. We all knew that Ford, was a,
Yeah, we knew.
we already knew. So,
Yeah.
sorry, Danny.
48.
Most of us here knew.
I'll drive my Ford.
Danny
Drink
was
my
so-
Bud Light. It's all good.
The
It's
funny
all
thing
good.
is, I saw Danny Quick Star jumping out of his Ford, coming back out. He's carrying 3 cases of Bud Light. He only has 2 hands. The third one he's carrying with his butt cheeks.
Yeah, dude, it's easy.
Well, you didn't see the fourth one then, James.
Art Kegel?
I giggled it. I was right behind him.
All right. NBA playoffs. First off, we do have Celtics Heat going on right now. Celtics do have a decent lead. Still midway through the second, 42-29.
All right.
Where
11
are
points.
they at?
Boston.
It's at Boston.
In Boston,
Ooh,
yeah.
place your
But
bets
the
now.
Heat did take game 1 in
Yeah,
Boston.
Did, yeah.
You know, the bigger, I don't know, surprise. The Lakers are down 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
They did fight their ass off. In fact, they were ahead and they had the game. Jamal Murray went off in the fourth. What was it, 23 points in the fourth quarter? We had a flop for flop incident.
Dude, it's plus 600 right now, and there's still. What? That is nuts. Take that bet right now, people.
Stop it.
I thought you stopped doing that.
I'm telling
fir-
you, I'm
I-
tempted
first
to
off,
take my
don't do that because you don't want to lose your money. Okay.
Yeah.
Plus 600. But from what Rio was saying, it was very heavily exaggerated. The first one was LeBron. I thought he took a little bit of a shove in the chest, a little bit. He flew 10 feet,
Yeah.
at least skidded 10 feet.
Skidded 10 feet. You could see
then
him like
ran-
launch himself.
Yeah, and then ran into the fans on the
Yeah,
side.
he
Took
spilled
ice.
his drink. Yeah.
Yep. Joe could just like hold my beer. Because down at the other end, I think it was like the ensuing play or a couple plays later, LeBron's bodying him up down low a little bit. And I think it was about the same. I bet you it was about the same little nudge or whatever it was, but flew. We have the flops going on.
That's funny.
Lakers in trouble. Any chance they get this turned around yet? There's an NBA leaked script going on, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
You seen
It-
those?
Yeah, it looked fake as hell.
It did look fake.
It looked fake as hell. I just don't know, man. You had figured they'd have to steal one, before they head back to LA, and they couldn't get it done. Even with the lead, they had a slim lead and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely going to be tough now.
I don't like the thought of having to win because in my mind they have to win 4 in a row. I understand there's 7 games. I get it. But it's almost like you can't let it go back to Denver for a 7th game. So in my mind, they'd almost have to win 4 in a row.
You just can't lose at home. You can't lose. Yeah.
Well,
I think that's-
until Game 7, and then we'll find out, right? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you mean?
because it's still going to be 4-3 regardless, right? In Denver, isn't that
Yeah,
how it is?
it would end in Denver. in
Right.
7.
So
Yep.
I'm just saying, I don't think you can't give one up at home if you're the Lakers.
Right.
I mean, obviously, if you're going to win the whole deal, but you can't let them come in and steal one of those or win this next game. I mean, or win one and then lose the next. It's
You got to win these next
you
2.
you have to
You gotta
win.
even this
Yes,
up.
you have to even this up. Otherwise, it's all over.
Yeah, I think if they win the next 2, they're going to win the whole thing and they're going to get to the finals. Denver's really good at home. They haven't lost in the playoffs at home yet. So it's going to be really hard to even beat them once. But they're going to have to, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've kept the first 2 games close, and they did seem to figure something out with Jokic a little bit. I mean, he's still
It's still
so
Jokic,
good.
right?
He's still so good, man.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see him in this light because people get to see what the fuck he does, and he's so good.
You can lose on this bet tonight.
But I wouldn't bet on it. I think Denver probably ends up winning 1 in LA, and then they can finish them off. But if the Lakers can figure out a way and get these next 2 at
Even it
home,
up. Yeah.
I do think they end up pulling out the series, yeah.
Okay, so these next 2 games are extremely pivotal. is
Pivotal.
what you're
Yeah.
saying.
If
Extremely.
Lakers lose one, I think, Denver definitely closes it out. If they do and they can even it up, man, they've got the momentum to do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. The odds are super against them, right? 0-2 in the playoff series is almost impossible. I think 8 teams have come back out of the God, what's the number 60 something that have done it. But 2 of those teams have been LeBron-led teams as well. So we'll see. But the fun thing is it's actually been competitive. So I don't know. Anthony Davis just has to not have a up game and then all of a sudden drop 9 points. And then,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys listened to Draymond's. What is it? Oh, they're down to 4?
Well, I didn't get a place to bet, but yeah.
You guys saw Draymond's little, because he runs this podcast, right? You guys see his snippet on that, how they could actually, the best way they should defend it. He's like, Jokic is going to get Jokic stuff, right? He's going to get his numbers. He's great. He's like, what you should do is have LeBron guard him. Not because he's better defensively than AD. That isn't what he's saying. He's like, if you do that, you bring him up there, you have 2 guys to kind of roll off of him. Because then basically you're using it to shut down Jamal Murray. That's what you're doing that for. So when he comes up to do the pick and roll and shit like that, you already have LeBron up there with whoever is guarding Jamal, and then those 2 stay up there. So if he picks or he rolls down to the cup, guess who he's got down there? Then he has AD coming at actually a true rim defender down there, and you're playing it a little bit different way. If Jokic beats you, it's going to take superhuman effort, which he can do, absolutely. But you can't have Jamal going off for 23 in the 4th, because that game was close and might have actually should have been able to win that had he not gone off, right?
Yeah, this playoffs has been wild watching players we saw Jason Tatum do this, but then Jamal Murray, he started off so slow. He was 3 for 14 before he got hot. And same thing with Jason Tatum. He had 3 or 4 points in the first, and then all of a sudden the 4th quarter blew up, and then the next game he dropped 51, right? Just the hot and cold spells of players. And if you're able to just contain Murray, in this case a little bit, man, it's such a big difference. Their role players aren't the same as LA's role players.
Right.
Just lock Murray down, right? You're right. Jokic can do his thing, right?
Jokic do his thing. It's no different than LeBron earlier on in his days, or anyone that's had that one central figure of a player. Dwight Howard back when the old Orlando days, right? He can beast mode. He can get his. He can go for 25 and 20. Don't care. We'll count that. Stick on the role players. Stick on shutting them down. Make that dude literally will them to a victory. That's what you need to do, especially when you're this deep in this. So, okay, Jokic, you are the man. You are MVP. Should be MVP candidate. He definitely should have had votes across the board. Mark Jackson, you piece of shit. And let everyone else chip in. Let's see if they have enough to go swing for swing with the Lakers role pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that Malone, their coach, just kind of went on a little pride tangent. Did you see that? And he should have. I believe he should have. Because he's
that's what he
talking
does,
about the Lakers. Well, he's just talking about the Lakers.
No, I know. That's what he does, though. He plays the underdog thing every time. So he's really good at playing that underdog thing to keep his team fired up, right? Even after game 1, everybody's talking about the Lakers. And then after game 2, everybody was talking about the Lakers and blah, blah. That's what he does. That doesn't surprise me at all. That's what he does. And the difference is Murray's there this year. We talked about that last year even. No, it was 2 years ago, right? Denver could have made a real run, but Murray got hurt.
Murray got hurt. Michael Carter is back flared up, and now they got their pieces.
Yeah.
They're back. They seem healthy, contributing. Michael Porter's playing the top draft pick that he was selected to be. So,
and Aaron Gordon playing.
Aaron Gordon, he's playing. His career didn't just fizzle out. We're in Orlando like we thought. So. Yeah, they have all the pieces kind of matching it up, but yeah, that'd be almost their best bet is try to, and it's harder than just putting Bron and AD on them, but yeah.
LeBron needs to stop shooting so many threes too.
Yes,
he needs to stop being lazy with it, and that's his bailout was a 3. Hold on, if you want a championship that bad, this is where you dig down deep. I don't care if you're playing all 48 fucking minutes. You know what I'm saying? Dig it out. Play defense every goddamn play, and if you really want to be a champion, I'm telling you right now that
use your role players.
Use them to.
You have decent role players. It's one. There's only a few times in his career that he's had a really decent role players, and he has them right now.
And he does. I agree with you. I've said this. I believe this is one of his most well-rounded teams he's had all the way. As in, you could go 5 deep off the bench. Legitimately, this is probably the best one he's ever had. Has he had better top-tier players when he's played? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But he hasn't
Miles,
had like this.
Look up LeBron's 3-point shooting in the fourth quarter in the playoffs this year. Because I want to say he's like over 25 in the fourth quarter. The last, God, I don't know if it's 3 or 4 games. It's at least since I've been playing Denver, but I think it goes back further. That's in the end of the games is when he starts to get tired, to your point, right?
Yep.
He's getting a little lazy.
Until the game is in the last 20 seconds, he's one of the best of all time.
Right,
So,
right.
when the game's close. Unlike Steph Curry's.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Unlike Steph Curry's. You've seen that crazy stat, right? Steph Curry, 20 seconds or less, game tying or game leading shot. He is like 0 for 11.
Yeah, he's at 12 or 13 after the Lakers series. But yeah, he
Was it?
was
Yeah.
0 for 11. Yeah. Yep.
I honestly wouldn't have
Crazy.
guessed that. I wouldn't have guessed that in a million years. Like that, I guess I just think of him as clutch because he makes ridiculous shots.
Yeah. Speaking of the Warriors, did you see Kerr come out and said that we're not a championship team unless Draymond's on this team?
So does that say Poole's gone?
I thought that was interesting. Let's
I
say
th-
that.
I
That
think-
is very interesting.
That was almost a statement without a statement,
Right.
you know, without
Yeah.
the direct statement to me. Yeah, I kind of heard something about that, but
Yeah,
that means
it's-
Jordan Poole has to be gone, right?
That's what I would think. First off, they're not ready to bail out on this roster yet. And then you're going to ship off who you think is the problem. And if you don't think it's Draymond, who's the other person that was involved? Yeah.
They
It was
don't-
pretty cool. Did you hear Draymond talking about that too right away after that last game?
24.7.
24% in the fourth quarter of the playoffs from 3.
And
So
that's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay,
LeBron fourth quarter stats playoffs is
24.7.
so 3 points attempted is 1.5, and 3-point percentage is 24.7.
yeah,
Jeez.
god awful. But after that series against LA, Draymond even talked to reporters, or it was on the podcast. I can't remember, but they asked him. No, so okay, I lied. They asked him about the incident with Poole, and they're like, "How much do you think that affected it?" And he's like, "I think it was huge," and in part because he throughout the season, Draymond like took a step back and didn't have his normal like leadership, push everybody role and stuff because he was trying to let everything heal. And then he said sometime in about February he finally started to step in, but he's like it was too late. It wasn't the same. I wasn't able to get the same thing out of everybody, and here we are. We didn't get it done, and it's kind of cool to see because like you think that Draymond's a leader, and you see him getting guys faces and stuff like that, but he recognizes that. Obviously, Steve Kerr recognizes that.
He's more the glue than anything else. I will say that. Like if Steph Curry's the guy that makes the boat row, this is the guy that makes sure that everyone's actually rowing it. Like you go
There
down
you
below,
go. That's
and they're
good, yeah.
actually everyone else is actually moving it while old boy's steering the ship, if you want to put it like that. You know. And he is that at least. He doesn't have the stats. I think he's fallen off tremendously when it comes to athleticism, but he could get you fired up. He probably would have gotten Klay Thompson fired up a hell of a lot sooner and made this shit count, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Where else are we going, gentlemen?
What else do we have tonight? We were gonna talk about.
Ooh, what did I see? It was I saw on the Dallas Stars. They've lost the first game 1 of like the last 2 series, and like no team has ever went to a Stanley Cup Finals and won it. While that's happened, when that's happened, yeah.
Who
Pretty crazy.
are you?
What do you think? Do you think they still could?
You
That's
know
a big
what?
stat to
I'm gonna.
overcome.
That is the
That's a long
coaches.
history,
what,
yeah.
Yeah.
7-0 in Game 7s now. The coaches. So, you know, there's just kind of a surprising team, man. They just hang around, and then I don't think it was last year, a year before that, they made the Stanley Cup Finals out of kind of like nowhere, and the guy gets them to play, you know, when it matters, and so you know they played team hockey, and
Hell yeah.
so.
Let's go. Here's one thing for you. James Harden is probably going to end up back in Houston.
Saw that. Yeah.
That's like where everybody thinks he's going to end up going. It sounds like his team is saying Houston's where he's going to end up.
Why?
Give me your take on that.
Only if he gets rid of the beard.
Why?
I thought he wanted out of Houston forever. They didn't give him enough
There's
help.
nothing in
I don't
Houston. They're
understand.
still rebuilding.
Rebuilding.
There's all
but
kinds
There's
of things in
nothing
Houston.
wrong with Philadelphia. Someone made some stupid.
strip clubs are better.
No.
The 76ers.
The 76ers.
Be clear.
Sorry. Yeah. The city of Philadelphia.
I got
Fuck
you.
them.
Yes, they
Okay,
are.
the fans. But
James
when it
is
comes
getting
to
ignored.
no, but when it comes to Sixers, there's literally because I saw that's where I was gonna bring that up. Who, some commentator on ESPN said that Embiid deserves better than James Harden.
That's fucking insane.
I'm like, that's
What?
the dumbest thing. Actually, it's not the dumbest thing because there's all kinds of fucking stupid shit on a regular basis being done and said
I got
on all these networks, and that's one of the things that I'm like, James Harden was not the issue. Yes, he's shrunken a few times, but they literally got where they got because of him too.
Yeah.
It wasn't them.
Yeah, you will. When old boy was sitting out.
They had plenty of pieces. I believe they had plenty of pieces. If you look at their roster, they had plenty of pieces to compete and win a championship. I do blame it on the coaching.
Dude, when Tobias Harris is your fourth or fifth best player?
Absolutely.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your bench was fine. You had a legit 3, and like you said, Tobias is your fourth best player. That's a pretty damn good roster. Yes, they got cold, maybe not at the right opportune time, but isn't that supposed to be where coaching kind of kicks that out a little bit? Maybe a little game planning that you can figure out a way to get around, right? Or like how to get them up.
I wonder if he's just kind of falling back in his
Stripper club ways?
lazy, as I was going to say. How he was kind of with Brooklyn and doing his thing, fat, chunky, flying out to Vegas, strip clubs, all that kind of deal. And now he's like...
Buffets at strip
right,
clubs.
so how close... they've been pretty close the last couple years. Yeah. And they've had to put in a lot of work and this and that, probably being pretty strict, trying to get everything on the same page and not make the finals and not win. And he's just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to go somewhere where I can ball out. They're going to give me the ball.
I could see it.
I like stats again.
Yeah, I can pump stats up.
But
and
his stats were there this year. And quietly, nobody knew, though, because he was being quiet. I'm with you. I do agree with you because that took a lot of hard work, and I actually could see it, which is sad. I was hoping he turned a page.
Right.
So I hope that's not the case, but I could see it.
Right. To be so close and having to put in that work and probably be more, on the straight and narrow, I guess, than what he was doing. Maybe he's just like, you know what, fuck it.
So that's where I'm torn, right? Because we saw him in the playoffs, like busting the team's balls because they're like, hey, that was just one game, blah blah blah, everything, and then all of a sudden the rumors come out that Houston. I don't know if you saw this so this would have been just before the Houston rumors. The first rumor that came out was Phoenix. Phoenix is a destination for Harden, according to like his team, and then most recently it was Houston. So like. Phoenix would make way more sense because he's trying to get a chip for his, legacy, I guess you could say. Be funny if him and Kevin Durant ended up together again when they did new shit.
I don't know how you find a spot on the floor with them. Somebody's gonna have to take a back seat.
With who? With Harden?
Well, yeah. Fitting in that lineup with Booker, KD, the point guard.
He's already.
Where does he?
I'm sorry, who's that?
The point guard.
The point guard.
We know who's
so you're gonna
handling
have
the
two
He's
bigger
been
guys.
traded. That's what's gonna happen.
Are you telling me you take Harden over Chris Paul?
Am I saying that's what I would do?
Yes. I want to hear you say that nice, loud, and proud if you're doing that.
Would I take James Harden
Yes.
over
Chris
an
Paul.
injured all the fucking time Chris Paul?
Yes, go ahead and tell me.
Yeah, I'll take fucking
That
James
is
Harden all day.
retarded.
James,
Stop it.
James,
Are you hard R over
Alls I
there?
heard-
Let's get him an extra chromosome.
all I heard
Pure
was
stupidity.
I drive a Ford.
Pure. Stop it.
I drive one too, though.
This dude
David.
could demolish a team. I know,
he
but this
hates
dude
Chris
could
Paul so
demolish
bad.
it.
I know you. Okay, listen. You can talk about my hate for CP3, but you know goddamn well that James Harden's a better piece than Chris Paul.
No, actually, I don't. Not with this current team. No, I'm being serious, in the sense that we've already seen it happen. The last time it was half-ass successful, James Harden came off the bench when he was with KD.
Yeah.
That when they weren't and they were a team in the net with the Nets, how well did that work? It doesn't work when there's a bunch of.
It's all fine and dandy to say that Chris Paul's not going to be there in the playoffs. That's when you have to count on him.
Right, but
he's not going to.
Right, but Harden won't be there in the playoffs either. I mean, like when it came time for right there, that's what I was saying. Like, he had an opportunity to be the number 2. What would happen if he's actually the number 3 because it's Devin Booker and Kevin Durant? It won't fly. He has such a piss poor attitude when this comes down to it, and he's kind of shown it a little bit. I thought he's turned the page. I'm hoping he has, like I said.
I mean,
but
he's shown it everywhere he's been. The Thunder. Look at Brooklyn.
I agree with that.
With Houston, Houston, and how dirty he did, like Houston and everything. all kidding aside, and even your hatred aside, even you had to admit that had they had CP3, this may actually be the Suns. This might actually be the Suns and the Lakers in this Western Conference Finals. Their series changed. May
have been, but fucking Denver's so good, dude. I don't know.
I know, but they should have had game one. They were ahead clearly with him until he went down.
Yeah, yep.
That's a fact. Then, second fact is they stole 2 games with just playing only outside rec basketball. Basically, all right, I go down, I pull up shoe.
Yeah.
You know,
For
that's
sure.
that they won by that, and that was without any organization whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's the one thing CP does bring is organization. Like, because they run plays that way instead of we're just you pull up from 3, you pull from 3, let's go.
Yeah, listen, I'm not a big James Harden lover. I've never been his biggest fan. I'm not saying that. But Chris Paul in the playoffs, he's a really good fit with that team, but in the playoffs, that's where I worry.
I would take him in a lot of teams, not that team is what I'm saying. Not with KD and Devin Booker. It just doesn't. It wouldn't work with him. Like the reason why it would work well with CP if he was healthy is he has no problem scoring only 8 points.
Right.
He'll dish
out
out 13 assists, no problem, and he would not have an ego about that.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. And I'm not saying I want to take it if you took him somewhere else. Like, you want to name a different team, then yes, I'm with you. But that particular team, they already have 2
Yeah, you'd have to fit
dudes that could drop 70 in a game, and you wouldn't be shocked, right?
Yeah, they did it, 3 times in the playoffs? Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
bro.
no, I mean individually.
At once they could. Yeah. That's true.
You wouldn't be shocked if,
yeah.
tomorrow you woke up, KD, or next season, KD, NBA game scored 70 points because Devin Booker already has,
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
So, Phoenix aside, right? Like, because they could be a championship contender. The fact that Houston is it seems to be the place he's going to go is so fucking weird.
I don't know why Houston would want to do that. They're still young and growing, and these are the pains you have to go through. Every team has had to go through.
Yeah.
That builds it up the right way. If that, I don't call it that, but you know what I'm saying. That it's internally built up and with young players. Mm-hmm. This is what happens. This is what Oklahoma City kind of had to do. They had that weird transition.
Do they even want? Here's the thing. So his team may say that's where he wants to go, but does Houston even want him?
They can't. Right?
Like,
that's what I'm getting at.
Right? Have you ever seen those memes AB signed with so and so, and it's but they declined. But they're like, thanks, but no thanks.
No thanks, but no thanks. They're their official Twitter account says, "Nah, we're good."
That's fair because of the history, especially. But they have so many young pieces. They're about to get what are they, number 4 pick, right, in the draft this year? But they need to sell tickets too, and I think money becomes really important at a certain point if he wants to come back.
Yeah. Yep. No, I mean, like I said, I could see it 100% that he's going somewhere. He's going to get plenty of opportunities to score. He's going to be the man. He's not going to have to work too hard.
I did forget to tell you guys this. This
Tobias.
is breaking news a day ago. Antonio Brown is returning to play professional football.
I saw that.
Louisiana.
No, for the team he owns, the
Team he
Albany
owns,
Empire.
Yeah. Yes.
The Albany Empire.
Shut up.
Mind you, if you looked, I'm gonna pull this up. We have a little.
You're
piece
fired
to talk
if you
about
don't
here.
throw the ball to me.
I forgot about. No, it's even yes, but this is even worse. You see how shitty of an owner this dude is, right?
Oh yeah, he was not paying people.
Locked players and coaches out of a hotel room. What else did he do? I think it was something about their pay, something about a hostile takeover, all kinds of weird from stuff like New York, from the New York Post too.
Yeah, Burfict gave that dude CTE, officially capped it off, and
100%.
dude is just out of his mind.
Oh yeah, the team and staff were not paid via direct deposit for the past 2 contests in April. At that point, and that came from their starting quarterback at the time. But he's coming out of retirement. Are you excited? Are you gonna watch him indoor football?
Negative.
not one little lick.
He's not even going to comment. That's how much he gives a shit. Let's talk about something we actually care about, Jimmy. I want to hear your opinion on Mr. Mark Jackson and his voting for MVP this year.
So I don't think we beat up on this enough, right?
Antonio Brown did in the pool.
Mark Jackson, his top 5. You're supposed to vote for 5 when you're an official league voter for postseason awards. MVP is this one. In his top 5, were Joel Embiid. What I tell you was the second one? My brain's farting right now.
Giannis.
Jason Tatum, that
young kid.
Gregorius Alexander from, and then the fifth one, Danny.
It's your guy.
Donovan Mitchell.
D-Bone.
This dude came out with his Twitter with an apology. Basically, in so many words, honest mistake. Now, please, Rio, can you remind me about, I want to say at least bare minimum 75% of the season, who owned the MVP without owning it yet?
Yeah, Jokic.
Jokic.
He was a front runner until you pointed out exactly. I mean, the last 10, 15 games, he kind of just balled out and ended up stealing it, which is bullshit. You know, we agree it should be when the games count and they matter more. But, yeah, he balled out and whatever. So how do you leave him completely off the list? Completely off the list.
It's not,
like,
yeah.
An honest mistake. Like, one of the best people in basketball playing the best. How? No.
He is. So I just wanted to make sure. So I'm trying to make sure I'm right. Mark Jackson is okay. He is. He is still with ESPN. Now, mind you, we had a pretty damn big episode. Not that couple months back, maybe.
Yeah.
Wasn't it of Kendrick Perkins on the Joel Embiid saying that he should be the MVP, and this is way and basically he went into race. He said the reason why Joel Embiid isn't getting the votes or whatever is because he's black. Basically, it's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
You know, that's basically what he's saying, right?
Yep.
So that was huge. That was on ESPN. That was a big old deal. It was getting blown up on the internet, how he was acting, what he said, everything. Everyone scoffed at him, right? On ESPN. I'm going to say that for the third time. ESPN, right? Mark Jackson works for
ESPN.
How in the fuck do you forget Nikolai Jokic? How can you?
Yeah. And
You can't.
honest
It's not
mistake. You can't.
honest mistake.
You can't.
You can't do it.
You can't.
Plain and simple. So please tell me, Danny. I would like to actually hear an explanation. Why? What is an honest mistake that you can think of? So what he gave as a half-ass excuse to his honest mistake is he picked one center, two forwards, and two guards. I didn't know we were picking all pro. We were picking first, second team All NBA. I didn't know we were doing that. So please, if you guys could give me an explanation.
If you go, hey, who's the top two centers in the NBA? Who are you going right now?
Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, exactly. Easy.
Yeah, this isn't that's without conversation, right?
Yeah, 3 of the people he mentioned should not have even been an option. You know what I mean?
I know games go into it now, and he might not have reached it, but usually the bet, and he's not, that was even one of the best. Who was the number? He had Jason Tatum in there. We'll give it that. That's one of the top teams in the East. Who was
the Gregorius?
That was with Oklahoma City, but that was near the bottom of the Western Conference. Where was De'Aaron Fox then?
Yeah.
Were they the 2 seed?
Yep.
Right? Or whatever the hell they ended up. Like, where was Steph Curry then? Like, at least some of those would have made. You went out of your way to put 2 guys. One guy that definitely should have been there. Donovan Mitchell should not have been on there. That wasn't on anyone's. If they were on anyone's voting list right there, it was in the top 10. It would have been number 10 if they had to vote 10.
Yeah, I'm glad you can say that too. But yeah.
No, absolutely, I can. Like that's just a fact. But my question to you guys is, what in any mind would you like? What was he thinking then? That's what I want. I want to hear it come out of your mouth. Like, what was this man thinking?
Whoa. Yeah, Danny, answer that.
Yeah, so we're going to go the opposite of what we talked about with ESPN a little bit ago. So it, to me, seems like it's a race thing, right? Everybody on there, whether they deserved it or not, was African-American. They were black. Jokic deserved it. At least, no matter what, you cannot say he's not one of the top 3.
Right.
Agreed.
To not have him in the top 5 doesn't make any fucking sense.
And to be like, basically he said it slipped my mind.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say. Oh, honest mistake, it slipped my mind. No.
It doesn't slip your mind.
It wasn't
can't.
It wasn't just love struck over like a LeBron, like squeezing LeBron in there because you're love struck by
right.
that.
It wasn't even like a Steph Curry or anything. Somebody,
Yeah. Then you'd be like, all right, at least it's a legend that's still balling up at a high level. At least you can make that point. But,
Right.
Right.
So you're You're saying exactly what I was actually thinking. I'm like, actually believe we're going so far the other way that we're making it a little too obvious now. Like,
Right.
And his little rebuff to it was, you could take my vote if you want to, but you're goddamn right. We should take your vote.
It's horrible.
Like, that is not watching basketball. That's not doing your job.
No.
You literally do this for a living.
Right.
This literally what you get paid for. You to go watch basketball games and commentate on it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. We don't get a chance to watch a lot of basketball because we're so busy with shit, right?
Right.
I've been able to watch Jokic play twice now in the playoffs, legit for long stretches of time. And this dude is fucking awesome to watch. He is way better than everybody else on the court. And when you watch that, if you're somebody like him, like Mark Jackson, where you're supposed to do this on a daily basis every day, there's no chance you watch this and say, maybe top 10.
Or forget about it.
Or forget about it.
There's
Yeah.
no way you forget about it.
Yep.
But you can remember Donovan Mitchell. How many of those games did you call?
Right.
How many of those games did you call of Oklahoma City Thunder?
And forget about it.
Forget about it. But
Right.
Yeah.
off my soapbox there. So I just wanted to make sure. I just don't think it got beat up enough. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think that one went under the cracks, and it shouldn't. I think it should be beat down even more. He's quietly sliding underneath here.
And he will.
But
let's talk about Mitchell real quick. So, do you think that was a bad trade then, or what do you think there?
no.
You don't like him, so
No, I do like him. I don't think he's the number 5 pick in the MVP race.
okay.
I don't think Darius Garland is either. I don't think Brown from Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
He's not an MVP. That's still a championship contending team. Jamal Murray isn't up there. He's still, we can go around. KD, they didn't put on that. They didn't put it on the list either.
I'm just poking the bear.
I know
'cause
you're poking
Cleveland's
it.
not a championship contending team either.
KD might
they
have not-
are. The
KD
growth
might have
keeps
not
going.
played
the
enough
growth
games,
that they keep playing up.
but-
I don't know if KD played enough games,
He's
and I
out
can't
for a
remember
while,
where they
yeah.
drew that bar at.
Yeah.
'Cause I thought it
don't
was
know
like
what either.
maybe it was like 66 games or something like that. They drew the
think
bar. You have to have so many.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but we'll look it up. I'll look it up at some point. Either way, you can't mistake that one.
No, you can't,
just
dude.
end discussion. No, there's no excuse for it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So it looks very bad at bare minimum.
Yeah.
At bare minimum, even if I believe it actually is a little bit. I'm talking on the race side, but at bare minimum, it is a very bad gaffe.
Yeah, negligence at least.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
so
you're
you
not
don't
doing-
deserve your vote
You don't
anymore.
deserve your vote.
Shit. Yeah.
Enough said.
Take it. Give it to us.
Unless you guys got something else, I do have a make sense.
Let's go.
If you don't think about it.
Let's hear it.
So
Gravel road.
gravel road love.
It was a
Gravel
road.
road love is what this one's called.
Hey, Miles, I don't know what this is about. Have you ever been down a gravel road?
No.
This one's called
Okay.
gravel road love. Okay,
I was just curious.
let's hold on.
I know you avoid them when the cops are coming, but I don't.
Not on my motorcycle. I don't.
Yeah. Well, he just turns the wrong way. Remember? He's like, I was trying to head east, but it actually was north.
And I fell in a hole.
Okay. So, a gentleman, told me a very interesting story. He told me not to tell it on the podcast.
Perfect. So
Let's go.
But he also told me this a while back, saying not to put it on the podcast, and that I could put it on the podcast now.
I love it.
Okay. So this man, probably, what did he say, 1987.
Better now.
1987. A young, high schoolish, maybe a little bit older, but our man by the name of Mikey Hoover,
Ooh,
the
baby.
love demon
Let's go.
himself.
The love mug.
Slinging that thing
He said
around.
he used to be a lover of many ladies, right?
Yeah,
He was a pimp. He was a boss. He knew how to get them.
Made love to thousands of men.
Wait, hold on.
Made love to thousands of women. In the
gotta
mud, in the rain, a man could have slipped in.
You
One would never know.
Never
You gonna
know.
leave this part out? Motherfucker ran a 9-hole course and made love.
I
on
know. Hey,
every-
we're not doing that one right now. I'm doing another one. You
Oh.
tell that one and another one. That's
that wasn't
fine.
gonna make sense.
No.
We're just
Yeah, we're not even telling that story.
We
That's
said
for
the
another one.
wine.
It's a good one, Miles.
It is a very good one. That one's a very good one that
Oh,
he's
yeah.
talking about too.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
My bad, Hoobie.
lovely lady he had never, I don't think he had really gotten with yet, but cruising around in the vehicle, taking some gravel roads. He can't remember what was exactly happening at the time, but he's he was only going like 2 to 5 miles an hour making a turn on a gravel road, and then putting this bad boy in the ditch.
2 to 5 mile an hour, huh?
2 to 5.
All right.
Somewhere in there. That's what he said. Now I'm like, all right. So where were her hands, head, your hands,
Can't feel
head,
my toes.
whatever, like. He's like, hey, he's so bashful. Hoovy, right? He can't just flat out say.
Right.
He's like, nah, I can't remember, but I just remember I was trying to get some loving. I was good. I was gonna try to get some. And that's the whole goal was, but I ended up putting it in the damn ditch. He's like, I felt so embarrassed. I'm down here, and I have this little Fiero. He's like, I'll remember. He's like, I'll always remember the vehicle. Fiero 19. I'm pretty sure he said 87. So he graduated. I think he graduated the year that I was born. So there's that. But he's like, we're stuck in the ditch out in the middle of nowhere, and then out of nowhere, Bishop Garrigan high school football bus comes down there. So they stop, they see us there, and they come down. They're like, you need help? He's like, yeah, is there any way you guys could help me get my car out of the ditch? Like, no problem. He said these big-ass fucking football players go down to the ditch and pick up his Fiero. Not push his Fiero out.
That's amazing.
You know how small Fieros are
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter. That is ridiculously awesome. They picked this fucking car up and put it up on the gravel road.
Hell yeah.
This man's like, he's like, if I had any beer left in the fucking case back there, I give it to you. Give it to you, boys. Thanks so much. So gets a little bit better. He's like, get to the house party that they were gonna go to, and he ended up making whoopee with this chick in the
What was that?
having sex with this woman.
Oh God.
Banging, beating up, whatever. Outside of this dude's house. Goes in finally when he's done. They're done. He goes inside, and for nobody knew what was. He thought nobody knew what had happened in any way, shape, or form. Not even the sex. Everyone starts laughing at him. He didn't understand. He didn't understand why. Until they point down. His pants had fucking grass stains on
Oh,
from
no.
nailing her in the grass in the front yard.
Dude, I thought you were about to straight McLovin me like, you got period blood.
No, not period blood, but the grass stains on his thing. They're like, where the hell did you get that? And Hoover can't keep a straight face. And
No.
because I think she had like a grass stain like on her skirt or some shit. So back, get it?
It
Gotcha.
matched.
But either way,
I don't get it.
Oh,
safe sex. Pay attention to the road when you're in gravel road.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
If you do happen to put one in there, hopefully a football team is able to come pick it up out of the ditch for you.
And don't have them watch you, because then you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He told me I wasn't supposed to tell that story because at one point he was married. Now he went through a divorce.
Wow, we're just
Was
getting this whole life story out here.
Who cares?
I know.
He told me he's all right.
I'm just being a smart ass. Jesus.
Yeah, he's like, I don't. He's like, no, go ahead now. He's like, I don't care.
Statute of limitations, anyway.
Yeah,
87.
Yeah, but his wife at the time had no idea what kind of pimp he really actually was. And if she'd had a little inkling,
Yeah.
there's some more stories because there was one with A-Bait out there too.
Pimp juice.
I got Mike Hoover fucking Fridays. I have Ruby Tuesdays. Whatever we got going on, but Hoover gave me the give and go. He's like, go, and he literally said, "Go ahead and put it on your podcast."
Let's go.
I
What a
got you,
guy.
Hoovy.
We
Yeah.
got combustible miles any day.
Yeah.
Let's
There
go.
may be a second part to gravel road travel. Of
There will not be any second part.
I heard there's trying to be a second part at work though.
yeah.
Yeah, I never heard of her.
I understand why Miles was nervous. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Why would I be nervous about what?
Yeah.
What do you mean her?
What do you mean him? I don't know what
What
it
do you
is.
mean it?
Shit.
Jesus, I'm gonna die.
Homer. Shake
Makes
on.
sense if you don't think about it.
Yeah, definitely. Give yourself a drink, man.
I did. I'm like chugging this shit. I'm gonna be going for almost
Hey,
48
fans,
hours no
you
sleep.
should have
when I'm all
listened to
said and
me.
done.
I wish this was live. We'd be millionaires.
What's the
right
score,
now.
Miles?
58-55. Miami over the Celtics, who took the lead going into halftime. And when I went to place my bet,
Couldn't find your location.
they were within 4 points. So it went down to plus 200, not plus 700. I ain't about those odds.
See, Rio,
And why didn't you do
I
it?
told you that the other night, man. I'm like, I'm tempted to bet on Miami for this. For no reason. For
Dude,
zero reasons, too.
Miami won me $700. Or wait, didn't I send you guys that? Maybe it was like six
was
something.
it,
658. Yeah,
That they
no.
played? No.
It was their first round. They were down by 12 in the third quarter with 12 minutes, and I was like, "You're giving me them kind of odds? I'm taking that all day." Especially with the team Miami is, they're built to come back.
I will say that they're a defensive-minded team, so yes, all they need to do is catch make a few baskets, and they know how to shut someone down.
I'll tell you who cannot play to come back. And that is the Warriors, who cost me my winnings.
Yeah, the Warriors are kind of like the Ravens. They play ahead, man.
Yeah.
And then they put you out of your misery. Like
They either stomp the shit out of you, they'll pull out the close ones every now and then. Not with the ball in Curry's hands in the final seconds. They won't. But if Curry's ball is if the ball is in his hands in the final seconds, that means you either mollywopped them or they went on a hell of a run at the end. So, yeah, fuck you, Warriors. Bullshit.
That's the truth. All right, real quick before we wrap this up. Right now, as of this minute, who you got in the finals?
I don't want it. I still have to stick with Boston.
Heat Lakers.
You're going an interesting one. I'm going Boston Lakers.
Boston, Denver.
Ooh, Boston, Denver's tempting. I'm going to go Miami Lakers because they have to have one big name team in the finals.
Go.
I don't think Denver's enough money. So
it can't be Denver and Miami. Then.
There's my
No.
plus 1200.
They got to figure something out with
no,
Boston or LA.
yeah, if it's not LA and Boston, then you have to flip the teams, right? So it's got to be Boston, Denver, so you at least have one, or Miami, LA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just destiny. It's LeBron. He'll get one more, so that he'll be one short of Jordan, and you'll have a different conversation.
He's going to get one with his kid, man. It's all good.
He's always good.
Wrong kid. His
shit.
other kid's like a monster. He's like 6'6" already. He's transferring from
I saw
Sierra
that.
Canyon.
Those
by the way.
glasses, man.
I gotta pee.
Yeah, goggles.
Yeah.
Real bad.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this up. So all of you beautiful people that
I'm
happen
like
to
your
find
dad.
us on the interweb, be sure to like, subscribe, share the whole 9 yards. We really appreciate it. But, Jimmer, where's the podcast available?
Anywhere and everywhere podcasts are available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube. YouTube.
Let's go. And if you've got a story to tell, especially a gravel road story, those seem to go really good. Be sure to go ahead and slide on in.
To our DMs, get a sad story. We'll get that gravel road story out to everyone, anyone who wants to hear it.
Gravel of love.
Except your wife.
Of love. So, Shanna, give us a phone call. We'll hit it up. You know what it is. So let's go. Get a sad story. We'll put it out there for everybody.
All right, beautiful, gentlemen. Let's get this NBA playoffs finished up. So, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Week Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it. All this doubt around me, damn it, look, I got it right.